That was a time lapse. We didn't get it done in less than a minute, but I'm going to keep this short for all these folks here because I want you to hear what they have to say. But the scripture I read the first night before, or the first morning we got started was Matthew 7, 24 through 26 here. It says, "Therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and acts on them will be like a wise man who built his house on the rock. The rain fell, the rivers rose, and the winds blew and pounded that house, yet it did not collapse because its foundation was on the rock. But everyone who hears these words of mine and does not act on them will be like a foolish man who built his house on the sand." This house was built on Jesus, and he is the foundation. He is our foundation. And we are wise to follow his words. And when we went, I believe all of us went with that in mind, that we are following his call for us to provide for a family that cannot provide things for their own. And throughout the mission, that was my focus, that everything we did was for Jesus and not for ourselves and not for just one simple person, but for his kingdom and not ours. That had a large impact with this build compared to the last for me. Not that it was any different the last build, but just that reminder that this is another way to serve Christ in this capacity that I'm able to do so. And while some of the folks may have not thought they had the capabilities to do so, we all found a place to fit in. Our missionary able to see our strengths and our weaknesses and kind of fill us in where we needed to fill in. And it was just a wonderful time to be down there. To serve Jesus, but also to build a relationship with everybody that's standing behind me, because it was phenomenal. But the final night before the dedication, I asked the group, and I figured I knew what their answers would be. Would you go again? And I think you all know that answer, but I'm gonna let them answer this. So.
Good morning, church. Man, that video just makes me kind of want to cry. So we had a great time, and I could stand here and just tell you all about what a great time it was. But this week, as I was reading my Bible and I was kind of considering what I was going to say, I read Acts chapter 11 as part of my reading plan, which, by the way, Mallory and I are halfway through. What up? But in Acts 11, we read about a church in Antioch that hears about a severe famine happening in a land about 300 miles away in Judea. And 300 miles away in the first century church wasn't like 300 miles away today. For most people, Judea was another world. People wouldn't know the names or faces of anyone there. They probably couldn't speak the same language or have the same culture. But the disciples in Antioch counted the believers in Judea as brothers and sisters. So knowing that these brothers and sisters would be in great physical need, the church in Antioch determined to send relief, and they did. When we learned about this Hernandez family, this church determined to send relief, and we did. These Christians don't speak most of our language. They don't live the way that we do, but they are brothers and sisters that we can count as our family. When we heard about their great physical need, by the grace of God, we were able to help. And I can't tell you how good it felt to hug this sweet woman and her family and to tell them with confidence that we will meet again. If not in this life, then in the next. Being used to bless them blessed me. But the Hernandezes are only one family, and we did send relief, but the relief is still needed by so many brothers and sisters, and not just in Juarez, but all over the world. Of course, those of us sitting here today can't and aren't expected to be the source of all relief to all people. But like the church in Antioch, who, according to their own ability, did what they could, so should we. So I'm excited to go back next year, and I invite you to come. It'll be hard, sweaty, sacrificial work, but it will be so, so worth it. And if, like me, you're hesitant because you don't have the skills or the physical fitness or the resources to be of any help, I'd like to lovingly, gently tell you to stop making excuses. The God that you serve is bigger than anything that you lack, and we all have something to give.
I will go now. Good morning, everyone. So I have to write mine out because I'm not very good at ad lib, so bear with me. I wish that there were words that I could use that would allow me to explain this mission trip experience to someone who didn't go. But the fact is, there isn't words to describe the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual experience that it was. God's grace allowed me to grow in all of those areas. I can say that I am beyond thankful that God allowed and provided for me to go. God's grace continually blessed me while on the trip and has ever since I arrived home. I was blessed to meet the beautiful Hernandez family, as well as their family friends, learning about how God brought these families together, seeing how close they are and the love that they have for one another has abundantly blessed me. They help take care of each other, which is exactly how God desires it to be. The love that they had for us, even though verbally it couldn't be communicated, was evident in their actions. They served us drinks, delicious watermelon, cucumbers, popsicles. They even made and served us meals. I mean, these are people that don't have the means or the money to do that, and they found a way. God gave them a way. The family friend's sweet daughter, Ileta, she would bring her umbrella around and provide shade for us while we were working. She was so cute. She would just stand there with her little umbrella. Darling. The love, the joy, and the happiness that we saw in them did not reflect their surroundings. Their surroundings are full of brokenness and so much evidence of a fallen world. Yet they have the love and extrude the characteristics of Jesus Christ. And that was one of the most beautiful things that I've been blessed to see in my life. Before we crossed the border, we drove alongside the wall for a little bit that separates the United States from Mexico. Seeing that wall really made me start thinking about how broken this world is. When we crossed the border and began driving through Mexico, the brokenness and the sorrow of the world was even more evident. There was so much trash everywhere. The number of stray dogs just running around was astronomical. Seeing the poverty that these people live in broke my heart. Their houses were made out of plywood, pallets, and tires. Items that we would consider trash, they use to shelter themselves. There's no indoor plumbing. Some shelters do have water barrels on top of them that collect rain to provide them with some water. Our family's bathroom, which I would call an outhouse, did have a toilet, but in order to flush the toilet, you'd have to use a bucket of water. Our family had 10 dogs that lived inside their house. And when I was talking to Aaron about that, he said that the dogs provide security for his family. Their makeshift shelter that they had did not have locking doors. They had a broomstick stuck through the door handle to help keep the door closed. They used the dogs to help keep them safe. That's just a brief snapshot of how people are living around this world, in utter poverty and brokenness. As saddened as I was by the brokenness, it made me think about how grieved and sorrowful God is in regard to this fallen world. The evidence of this fallen world may have been much more apparent to me in Mexico, but the truth is we are surrounded by brokenness everywhere we go. It's present here in our own town and neighborhoods. Everyone may not be called to serve thousands of miles away, but we are all called to serve. We have so many opportunities where we can serve even in our own church. We have food pantry ministry. We have the upper prayer room ministry. We have Sunday school. We have nursery. We have children's church. There are so many areas that we should be serving in, as well as traveling to places where they're in such need of our help. So it's not an option for us to serve, it's a command. And God provides the grace for each one of his children to do so. As I was praying and thinking about what I was wanting to share, God laid this scripture on my heart, so I'll share it with you all. It's out of the book of Matthew. It's chapter 25, verses 31 through 46. When the Son of Man comes in his glory, and all the angels with him, then he will sit on his glorious throne. All the nations will be gathered before him, and he will separate them one from another, just as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. He will put the sheep on his right and the goats on the left. Then the king will say to those on his right, "Come, you who are blessed by my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you took me in. I was naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you took care of me. I was in prison, and you visited me." Then the righteous will answer him, "Lord, when did we see you are hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you something to drink? When did we see you, a stranger, and take you in, or without clothes and clothe you? When did we see you sick or in prison and visit you?" And the king will answer them, "Truly I tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me." Then he will also say to those on the left, "Depart from me, you who are cursed, into the eternal fire prepared for the devil and his angels. For I was hungry, and you gave me nothing to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me nothing to drink. I was a stranger, and you didn't take me in. I was naked, and you didn't clothe me, sick and in prison, and you didn't take care of me." Then they too will answer, "Lord, when did we see you hungry or thirsty or a stranger or without clothes or sick or in prison and not help you?" Then he will answer them, "Truly I tell you, whatever you did not do for one of the least of these, you did not do for me." And they will go away into eternal punishment, but the righteous into eternal life. So one thing I really learned from this mission trip is that alone we do not have the strength or the power to do these things, but God gives us the grace that we need to do all these things that he calls us to do. We're not alone in it. So I just ask you to be prayerful and think about where you could be serving or what you could be doing. Lastly, I just want to say that I'm so thankful that God's grace provided me with this experience. I'm so thankful to have met the Hernandez family and their friends. We still communicate on Facebook, which is really cool. They send pictures, and they're so excited. And they sent pictures of their Bibles, and it's just, it's heartwarming to be able to get those pictures and see what they're doing. Seeing the joy, love, and happiness that they have within them, even as they live surrounded by all the brokenness and poverty, reminds me just of how good and awesome God and his grace is. I'm beyond thankful for the fellowship and relationships formed while on this mission trip. Our group was absolutely great, and I can't wait to go with you all again, as well as more of you. I'm so excited. So thanks for letting me share. That's all I have.
Mine's going to be short and sweet. I'm very thankful that I was led on this journey. I formed a lot of amazing relationships with my team and the family, but I wanted to share something that Karina sent yesterday. You're part of our home, and this home belongs to all of you. We love you so much, and thank you for helping us move forward. We were stuck and sometimes very sad, but we had faith that God would touch our hearts. And she sent me a video of 2 of the trees they planted out in front of their home, and it just really touched my heart that they're making it their home. So thank you.
Good morning. As summer was getting closer, people would ask me what I was doing this summer, and I would say I was going to Mexico. And before I could finish, they were asking me what special resort I was going to go to, and I had to explain that that was not the kind of Mexican vacation I was going to be having. I was really nervous to go on this trip. I was nervous about the heat. I was nervous that I wasn't going to be enough. I was nervous about our safety, but I'm so glad I didn't let those fears hold me back from this amazing experience. Casas por Cristo is very safe. We had missionaries with us the entire time. We had 3 missionaries, actually. They were amazing. We bonded with them, and they kept us safe. Our facility reminded me a lot like church camp. It was a lot of fun. We had running water in our facility. We were able to shower, flush the toilets. We even had cooks on site. So it didn't feel like a vacation in the work that we were doing, but we definitely ate like we were on vacation. And that was amazing. I took a picture of every meal I had because I loved it. So the days were very hot. I did things I had never done before. I am so thankful for the clear instructions that were given and the confidence and encouragement from my team that I was doing a great job. If you need someone to stucco your house, you can call me. I will need Misty to also help. I really liked using a nail gun and all kinds of power tools. That made me feel amazing. I accidentally, on instinct, called my tool bag my nail purse the entire time. So that was also really fun. And when it would get really hard, when the job seemed to be taking forever, or something wasn't working, or the heat was just unbearable, you would look over and see this family, and God would give you the strength that I can keep doing this. I mean, the first day it was 118 degrees when we got in the van, and they had told us, it's a little too hot, we need to be done. I don't know how we did that without God's grace and strength and love, and this family who just kept looking at us in awe of everything we were doing. The experience was better than a Mexican beach vacation. I truly felt like my soul was refreshed. I left Juarez feeling a bond with the members of my church family who went with me and the Hernandez family. As a team, we worked so well together. We cheered each other on, prayed with each other, took care of each other. I loved getting to experience this with my husband, Bobby, that we had each other there to encourage and share this amazing experience. We even brought some of Ainsley's birthday bags with us. We brought a volleyball, a soccer ball, a loom bracelet set, and a bead bracelet set, which you probably saw in the video. We loved getting to bring our ministry all the way to Juarez and to share the story of Ainsley. The Hernandez family was living in a home made of plywood and tarps. It was extremely humbling to be able to build this family a new house while we could just see the house they were currently living in. The families do not have running water. As we arrived on the job site each day, you would see people with carts, even baby strollers, going to get fresh water. I know I take for granted every day when I turn on my faucet or my shower that there is just water there for me. We would have to use the family's bathroom on site. This is a bathroom that if you were traveling and you stopped, you would not use the bathroom. And this is the bathroom that our families got ready for in each day. It was clear. There was hair straightener products, toiletry items, a mirror, and it was extremely humbling to me and I'm sure vulnerable for them as they share this piece of their life with us. I don't feel guilty for what we have, but extremely grateful for what we have. And once you see this and you meet the family, you just want to give them everything you can. When we were there, we thought, what more can we do? We were going to give them our pillows and our towels. And when you saw the girl touch the towel to her face, like she's never touched something that soft before. I mean, you just wanted to give them everything. So I want to thank you, church, because even though you weren't on the job site with us, you helped pay for this home that was built. Karina Hernandez, who is the mother, she said, this is also your home. This is your house that you built. So I thank you. I'm so glad I had this experience, and I for sure can't wait to go back.
Good morning, church. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. Today, I wanted to talk about my experience with the Casas. I found it really amazing, and I hope that every youth kid, especially Bryson over there, can come with us. It would be really appreciated that you can. And I wanted to talk about how hot it was and how it's just amazing to begin with. The food was amazing. The drinks was amazing. Tim, throwing up his food. That was amazing. And when we were building the house, the first day, it was extremely hot, of course. But even through that, hearing the family laugh and play around and give us snacks and make us food, it really brightened my day, and I can speak for all of us that it brightened all of our days. And I just wanted to, just thank the family for being there, helping us. Like, they didn't have to help us, they didn't have to cook food for us, but they still did, and I'm really grateful for that. I am blessed to go on to this trip. I am blessed for all of you guys for paying for this trip, and I really hope that more of you guys can come onto this trip with me and with us. I hope that next year there'll be more of us, and I will definitely be going next year, because it was an amazing experience to have. The flight was amazing. I mean, a little turbulence, but that's fine. Missy only freaked out once. And, I mean, even though it was hot, we still managed through. And the missionaries, I grew a little bond with them. There's this guy named Ian. I saw him as like an older brother. We went on shopping trips, talked about our experiences, and he just drove around the city. It was really nice to be with him. I bought ice cream for everyone, since I'm so nice. And there was this other guy named Bryce. I think we're friends, hopefully. And there was this one day after we were done building the house, I think it was the third day, I saw him outside by himself playing basketball, and I wanted to join him. I beat him because I'm just so awesome. Yeah, you should have seen it. It was amazing. And there was this person named Molly. She was like the leader of it all. She is very admirable. Every time something bad happened, or I shouldn't say bad, something occurred, she always stayed calmed and always led us through everything, and that's very admirable. She is a great leader, and I hope to see them next year or whenever. I want to see them again. It was really nice meeting them. And I just hope that all of you guys will come onto this trip. It is amazing, and the drinks are awesome. Thank you.
All right, so now that you've heard a little bit from our team, I hope that you guys are excited. I hope you guys really understand that you were part of this trip as well. You guys paid for a house. You guys fundraised $11,000 in just shy of 5 weeks to build this house for the family, and so you guys are every bit a part of it, just as much as what we were. It was an exciting experience, an enjoyable experience. It was hard physically. It was hard, emotionally as well for a lot of us. But again, the Lord provided for us, and the Lord gave us the strength to do that. I am excited to say that we built a house with a team of 11 people, and so we have all kind of talked and decided, and we are going to go again next summer in 2026. So I hope that you all will be thinking and praying about that. My goal is to, in the next 6 or 8 weeks here, by the time or shortly after school starts, that we will have a date set for our 2026 trip. We will start fundraising for that. And I would ask that you start praying about that, and whether the Lord's calling you to come on the trip with us next year to build another house. We have as many as 20 is our maximum group size, so we have plenty of room for everybody that would like to come and participate in that. Along with that, I would like to share one other exciting update. Several of the team talked about Molly, who was our missionary that led our trip, or led our build while we were in Mexico. She is actually going to come right here to Atwood in 2 weeks and speak for us on Sunday. I am super excited about that. I want you guys to be thinking and praying about that. I want you to talk to everybody that's not here, your friends, your family, our church members that might be out of town. I'd love to see our church full in 2 Sundays when she's here and shares about Casas and what they're doing and how they're sharing the gospel as they build houses for people. And then we are going to take up a love offering to help support her ministry while she serves. All of the missionaries and Casas that help teams build houses are all self-funded, just like any other missionary on the field. And so I look forward to her sharing with us, you guys getting to hear from her perspective of somebody that is full-time on the field in Mexico, building homes and sharing relationships. The great thing I think about Casas is that while we're building a home and meeting a physical need, that is allowing us to open the door for local pastors in the community to be able to share the gospel with these families. We were fortunate, our family that we built for, the Hernandezes, go to a local church just a few blocks away from where we built their house for them. And their church actually invited us twice. They made homemade tamales for us on Tuesday for lunch, which is my favorite Mexican food. And I regretted eating like 6 of them, although Ethan beat me because he ate like 12 and I couldn't keep up. But that was amazing. But their church was so thankful for what we were doing, that their church wanted to give back to us. And then one of their close friends and members of the church where they participate, runs an after-school care program where they feed and help kids after the school lets out in the afternoon. And she invited us on the last day after the house dedication and fed us lunch on our last day as well. It was just great to see the community around them and the support that gave. And again, the positive environment that one Christian family and a house we were able to build for them to provide them an opportunity to be a light in a broken and lost community of hundreds and thousands of people, and their church that they're participating in to be able to use what we did in a couple of days down there to share the gospel with their community. So again, I am thankful for you guys doing that. Be praying and thinking about whether you want to join us in 2026 as we go again. And then be praying and asking the Lord how He wants you to give and bless our Casas missionary Molly when she's here in a couple weeks. And I look forward to everybody being able to see that. So again, thank you for all we've done. I hope you enjoyed what we shared. And if you have any other questions, want to know more information about our trip this year or what next year's trip looks like, find me, find any one of the ones here on the team, and we will get you answers to those questions. So thank you for allowing us to do that and leave our comfort zones and share the gospel outside of our country this summer, church.